Hello, YouTube. I'm Vince White. I am an employment attorney, and we are answering publicly posted questions for YouTube users, getting folks the answers they need from an employment attorney. We have a question here from YouTube user Michael McLeod, who I assume is a member of the Clan McLeod. That was the worst Scottish accent ever, and I am sorry for making fun of your name. I am not making fun of your username. I just am making a Highlander reference because I like 1990s television and 1980s movies. There can be only one. Okay, so Michael McLeod asked us, can you break an NDA? My previous employer said they would sue me for defamation. What are the steps to break an NDA? Got it. So the first step to break an NDA is to contact a local attorney, a local employment attorney, wherever you are, local counsel, and have them look at the terms of the contract that puts the NDA in place. That's the first thing. Nobody can really answer your question about an NDA without first doing that. Now, I guess I have questions. We don't know a lot about the situation. We don't know why you want to break the NDA. We don't know what's going on. We don't know where you are. In certain jurisdictions, NDAs are going to have statutes that govern them, and those statutes may give you paths forward to get out of the NDA. So again, that's a really good reason for you to speak with local counsel, because one, they can look at the agreement and be armed with knowledge of the terms of that agreement they can use to potentially aid you. Two, they'll know the local laws where you are, and in addition to knowing them, they'll also be able to tell you about them, which I'm not allowed to do because I can't speak to the state laws of most states because of the bar associations. So that's important to keep in mind. Now, if you are the victim of workplace discrimination or workplace sexual harassment or workplace retaliation, we've developed a bit of a toolkit, kind of a playbook in terms of how to deal with NDAs. And part of that is from running these cases a lot and having to face a lot of NDAs, but also we've run a program for victims of workplace discrimination and victims of workplace sexual harassment, where we do free NDA review in conjunction with local counsel, and we'll help them to understand the risks and the strategic options presented in terms of their NDA and how they might get around or get out of their NDA or operate within the bounds of the NDA while still being able to share their story. I am a huge believer that stories are the means by which humans care about things, right? Humans don't care about generalities. If you're like, there's billions of people starving to death in the world today, the average human being's like, that's sad, but also I don't care, and iPhones, right? Like, that's kind of how human beings work. But if you're like, Timothy here, Tiny Tim is starving to death and has a crutch and is sad and won't make it to next Christmas. The number of human beings who are going to care about Tiny Tim are exponentially higher than the number of human beings who are going to care about billions of children starving to death. That's weird. Humans are weird. We're weird. But that is how we work as far as I can tell. And so I think that telling stories and sharing stories of victims is incredibly important and is the path forward. And so we run a program. We ran it for years with Lioness, and we still do, where we do free NDA review for victims of workplace discrimination, workplace sexual harassment, because those stories are important for two reasons. One, they help victims. Sharing those stories can help victims, can help to control the public narrative. It can help to sway the court of public opinion. It can help to apply pressure to employers who have done horrible things and who want to silence their employees. In addition to that, there's just a benefit to society, right? To putting names and faces and stories to these kind of events will help people to learn and become better and behave better, and to hopefully vote for laws and support laws that help our society move forward in terms of workplace equality. And just maybe if we share enough of these stories, maybe people just stop attacking victims all the time, right? Like, we have a video on the channel right now where there's a lot of victim blaming going on, right? We answered a question for somebody, And a bunch of people kind of, I think from outside the channel, came in and were like, no, it's her fault. She was asking for it, right? And I understand. I'm oversimplifying what they're saying and characterizing for my own purposes. Yes, all true. Guilty. I am guilty of that. But there is this natural human reaction to attack victims and be like, she asked for it, or they're playing the race card, whatever it is, right? And I think that reaction is unhealthy, not productive, bad for society, and also just ignorant. I don't think it makes sense. I don't think people, I think if you understand how hard these cases are to live through as a plaintiff, you would not think that people are making up cases for like a quick buck. I don't think you would. I don't think you would. So, Michael McLeod, I think that you need to speak to local counsel. I gave you a very general answer to your very pointed question. The best answer is you need to have somebody look at your NDA, tell you your strategic options in terms of how you might break it, what the risks are if you do break it, right? Because NDAs, I mean, breaking NDA, I'm being facetious here, I'm joking a little bit, but it's legal. I guess it's the best way. Breaking an NDA is legal for a price, right? Like there's damages. You have a contract, and I would assume that contract may either spell out the damages, have a liquidated damages provision, which tells you how much the damages would be, or just have breach of contract provisions, and damage would be calculated as per the breach of contract case law or laws wherever you are. So you can get a feel for like, what would the damages be potentially? What would the risk to you be if you breach your NDA? And that's one kind of brute force way to go forward with some of these situations. So, Michael McLeod, you may feel that I gave you a non-answer, but I gave you, I believe, the only path forward for you, which is have local counsel review that agreement and have an in-depth conversation about your options, your strategy, your tactics, and your risks. Good luck to you.